Alright, we're talking about chapter 1.6. 1.6 deals with functions. Well, what is a function? A function is a relation between an input and an output variable. What that means is that when I input a number, I want it to output only one number. Okay, and it needs to be on a regular basis. It can't change. It can't sometimes be this or sometimes be that. One input has exactly one predictable output. Okay? And two of the examples that we're given a lot are graphical functions, okay, and some numerical functions here. So I'm going to talk about a couple of them. And what we mean by that is, well, the input variable is horizontal variable. Okay? Your output variable is your vertical variable. Okay? So the idea is for every one input, there's one predictable output. Okay? So for example, if I input some value here on the x, it better give me only one possibility on the y. Okay? And what we can do is we do this thing called the vertical line test. Now if we draw a vertical line, or pretend to draw a vertical line, okay, if I pass that graph only one time, then it passes the vertical line test. Because what that means is that every specific x value has only one possibility for a y. Okay? So, vertical line test. For example, on this one here, if I do a vertical line test, well, what happens? Draw a vertical line, and whoops, I cross here and I cross here. So it fails the vertical line test. Okay, so this graph here is of a function. This one here is not of a function. Alright, so the same is true when we're talking about the tables. Okay, if given a specific x value, I only want one specific y value to pop out. Okay, so look at this, negative 2 gives me a 4, negative 1, 5, 0, blah, 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 blah. Okay, in other words, each one of these has only one possible output. Okay, so this would be possibly a function. Doesn't mean it is, but it's possible it could be. Now if we look at this one here, we see, okay, well 3 outputs a 1, 4 outputs a 2, 5 outputs a 3, and then 3 outputs a 4. Well, that's not going to work because we've got 3. We plug a 3 in, and, well, sometimes it outputs a 1, sometimes it outputs a 4. Okay, that's not predictable. Functions are very predictable. Okay, well this isn't. Sometimes it's 1, sometimes it's 4. We don't know, right? So this cannot be a function. So this is not, this was not, this is yes, this could be, and it leaves us with this final one here. Well, here we've got negative 4 outputting a 5, negative 2 outputting a 5, negative 1 outputting a 5, 0 outputting a 5, 1 outputting a 1, and 2 outputting a 3. This could be a function, okay? Even though you've got multiple inputs here giving the same output. That's okay. You can input a negative 2 and get a 5. You can input a negative 1 and get a 5. That's fine. It's still a function. Okay? Now, if we had this one here being a negative 1 instead of a 1, well, then no longer would we be a function because negative 1 cannot output a 5 and output a 1. Okay? But we don't have that. Right? So this could also be a function.